Oh, semen retention, it's a tool. It's not the end final goal. It's not. You can say maybe it's a means to getting to the end, but it's not like, I'm just going to preserve my semen and I'm not going to edge and then, it's just, okay, that's it. No, it's a tool, you can say, for self-discovery, because when we're losing our semen and we're edging all the time, the sun's like doing something. When we're losing our life force all the time, we're not going to have any energy left, you can say, for true character transformation or self-realization. How can we? You're going to be stuck in this dark vortex of just spiraling downward debauchery, because you got to take the whole package. For doing PMO, for losing our life force, it drops our frequency, and then we have to take that whole frequency package. Have a little cold, can you tell? And that frequency package is like engaging in stupid talk, superfluous talk, negative talk, gossip, eating bad food, staying up all night, watching stimulating, violent, sexual movies, on and on and on. Because that's what we're going to attract. Because we don't have any life force to activate our higher nature to attract the higher frequency package, which would be eating clean food, eating food that actually gives life force instead of taking life force. Hanging out with higher level company, or being alone if you can't find any. Spending time in nature rather than at a club, trying to get dopamine stimulation. You see, it's like it's everybody, there's all these different worlds. It's like, which world do we want to live in? Usually we have to taste the lower level world, sense pleasure world for a while, and then we hit bottom, meaning like we see like, damn it, I'm tired of this. This is like not giving me any juice. It's like a sugar high. Gives me some juice and then I crash, like I'm tired of this. Is there like a better thing to do? And then we start attracting like things like semen retention and certain teachers and books and speakers, and universe starts to support us in this higher journey. It's all law of magnetism, like that's how it works. So the real goal, whether or not people accept this or know this, is that it's like your destiny is to master yourself. What self? What do you mean self? Means the ego, the negative lower part of yourself. This is why we're here. This is the play of life. This is the dualistic game that we're involved in. We have the lower human ego, likes all these little sense pleasures and addictions and attachments, and we start to suffer that, and then we want to rest more in a higher place of our being, where we're more stable, we're more relaxed, we're kinder to people, have more compassion for them. We get along with our mom. We're not consumers of energy anymore. Get over here, give me some energy. No, we're in overflow. We can give energy. So then you might make videos or read a book or write a book or do whatever service you do in life. You do it from a place of like serving rather than taking. This is what we're here to do, to be this higher version of ourselves. This is everyone's destiny. Now, they may not do that this life because they're too caught up into the negative side of things. And they don't like videos like this because it makes them uncomfortable, because their ego gets uncomfortable. And they're not ready to let that go. So then they get upset. That's part of the deal too. Like the fire has to burn that ego. You're supposed to be uncomfortable. That's what because like it's things, higher parts of you are breaking loose now. The fire is burning off that negative dross, and so the higher things are coming up, and then the negative things are like, no, stay down. And so then there's that friction, and then you feel uncomfortable. And so then you just want to go hide in some addiction or go get busy doing something as a distraction so you don't feel this inner war inside. That's okay. That's natural. That has to happen for a while. Like everything's all right. Like God's running this whole show. Like this is You can't escape this grind for a while. There's always going to be some level of grind, but it gets more subtle, and it's fine. Then you get to accept that. You're like, oh yeah, this is just the way it is. As long as I exist in a human body, I need to exercise some level of discernment and vigilance to stay on point. Otherwise, I get complacent, and then I start to think, I can handle, playing around, doing some looking on the internet and doing this and that and lusting a little bit because I'm cool now. I do that a little bit, you see. So then you catch that, and humility kicks in. You're like, whoa, I can't handle that, actually. I'll become a slave again. I don't want to be a slave. God help me. Or whoever you pray to, Muhammad, Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, etc. That's that game. You keep your humility, so then you have a much better chance of not getting sucked back into this dark vortex of life, which God put here because the game wouldn't exist without it. We need it. So this is the highest level of, you can say, this is highest manifestation, when you manifest your higher self. The rest of this manifestation is like child's play. You want to manifest $1 million and a house and a girl, and this is all mind. Yeah, you might can do that. You know the best thing about getting all that is to see that it doesn't do anything. It's the best thing. I had to do all that. I had fast cars, and I used to really like the sport bikes. I had Ninjas and GSXRs and CBRs, and I'd pop up and be like, check this. And I couldn't do stoppies, though. So I did all that. Rode jet skis and snowmobiles and, just all that stuff. Played around with the girls. And I had to do all that. I don't regret it at all. I had to do all that. And it was seemingly fun in the moment. But it wasn't giving me peace and serenity. It was more like excitement. It was dopamine stimulation, which I confused as being like, oh, this makes me happy. It's not true happiness. But we have to know what true happiness is in order to know what true happiness isn't. If all we know is dopamine stimulation, then we're going to think that's true happiness. That's okay. Life will show us at some point what true happiness is, and then we'll look at these other things as like a pseudo-happiness. That's evolution. That takes time. But I'm just saying what the real goal here is is to transform our character and live in the highest state that there is no absolute highest state, actually. There's infinite levels of higher states of consciousness and higher, and it keeps going. But you want to get on that ascending trajectory as opposed to the downward spiral. That's what I'm saying. And technically, we're all on that anyway, because even the downward spiral is going to create the bottom in compost to send you back up. We can't miss. Yeah, everything's okay. So I'm saying semen retention is a tool, but it's not the goal, because I've just shared what the real goal is. But there's no realization of this real goal or transformation of character, not in a true way, if you're not doing semen retention. I mean, we don't have to you just say it in your own way. You don't have to say semen retention. If you're not preserving life force, how are you going to live in the height of your being? You can lose life force by doing PMO, ejaculating, masturbating, watching porn. You can lose life force from eating too much bad food. Life force or ojas is what I'm saying. You can lose it by spending too much time in stimulating environments, getting the constant dopamine stimulation. The dopamine stimulation burns up your life force. If you don't have a high level or surplus of life force, then you're not going to be able to transform your character, because that transformation in alchemy requires energy. It requires life force. Otherwise, you can't bear the inner tension that takes place when this alchemy is happening. You'll just quit and go indulge in another addiction to escape it. That life force gives you strength to walk over these trials and tribulations that you're going to experience. You have to have the life force. So you don't have to call it semen retention, call it life force. You need life force. Semen retention is a good tool to give you life force. That's what I'm trying to say. And it's all about the ojas. It's not so much about, it's about the ojas. I made videos about that on the ojas. And so you can just type in ojas, O-J-A-S, in my search box, and then it'll come up. So I think I'm going to make one more video before the sun gets too high, and then we'll just do it like that. I'll talk to you soon. Leave me any questions you have on my comments, and Have a good day. Just keep going, man. Don't give up. You can't give up anyway, but I'm just saying.